The champion baby Jake Matlala defending against Domingo Pretty Boy Lucas. Lucas bringing a good record to this, the biggest chance of his whole career. We'll join the action in round 4.
Back in the ring. 4th round here. I've given Matlala all 3 so far against his challenger, Domingo Lucas. How you got it, Glenn?
Yes, he's boxing well. I give him the same score. He's just getting off first with his combinations. He's thrown the better shots. But what he's always got to be careful about, especially with a long puncher like Lucas, is getting cut, because he does suffer from that.
Lucas wants to keep the fight at range in an ideal world. Matlala is not letting him do that. Matlala, who was, by the way, named as the South African Boxer of the Year for 1993. He might win that award again in 1994, the way things have been shaping. Comfortable at this weight as well. Walks around, he says, at 7 stone 12 pounds. 2 pounds inside the limit. I believe him.
Let's go. Back.
Oh, that was a really good sharp right from Matlala. It's all been left hooks, mostly so far from him. Lucas caught by the right as well. He's being outgunned in there at the moment, the Filipino.
He is. Lucas is trying to find an answer. He's trying to move, trying to use that jab. But Matlala's cutting off the ring well and putting lots of shots together. He always looks very, very cool in there, Matlala.
And he's had success with a couple of shots in this round. He's got quite good fast hands, the right in particular, Lucas, but not getting too many chances to get that punch off.
Pull him down, let's go.
No, that just landed on the gloves of Lucas, who covered up reasonably well that time. Not quite so sharp in this round, Matlala.
No, I think it's notable that Lucas is using his feet a lot more. You know, he was prepared to stand a little bit with Matlala early on, but now he wants to get out the way. He wants to throw a couple of shots and then use them feet.
Matlala started very, very fast and at times looked quite brilliant in the first 3 rounds, but he just seems to be lacking his timing a bit in this round.
Yes, I think that's because Lucas is just giving him a little bit more distance. So Matlala's, you know, he's not connecting.
Tiring business as well, just punching the air, but Matlala is definitely in control. Sun City, seen the Superbowl of several big rock concerts down the years. They had a couple of WBA heavyweight championship fights as well here. There's Chris Eubank. He's having the oil put on. He's ready for that ring entrance again. I wonder what the South Africans are going to make of it. They've been as mystified as the rest of us by Eubank's antics since he arrived here 3 weeks ago. 5th round here. Matlala, the WBO flyweight champion, in his 3rd defense. Baby Jake, as he's known. Now, can Lucas somehow find a foothold in this fight?
Matlala just caught with a couple of shots, not hard shots, but just caught with a couple on the way in there. Lucas trying to switch and he threw a straight right hand and then just changed it to a right uppercut. Now, they were pretty good shots, they landed. But there doesn't seem to be enough power in them because he's trying so hard to get away with his feet.
Again, Lucas, for the 2nd time, warned about pulling Matlala onto the punches. If he does that again, he might well have a point deducted. He's quite a tough cookie, I think, though, this Filipino. He showed that in that fight with the excellent Mexican Ricardo Lopez. It's not to be written off too quickly. Matlala will have to keep up to his work.
Yes, Matlala's got to keep busy. He hasn't just got to keep following Lucas, who is trying to pick off and uses his left jab.
This is Lucas's best round so far, I think. He's on his bike a little bit. He isn't landing too much, but he's making Matlala miss a fair bit. And just catching with the occasional counter. Good body shot, too, from Lucas. Well, he's just giving Matlala one or two different problems to solve at the moment.
Yes, he's just giving him the run around a little bit, using good use of his feet there. Nice counters.
And again, warned about holding and hitting. Left hook from Matlala.
The referee's pulling him up for that when he pulls Matlala on, but it's very difficult against such a small opponent.
All good pros know to come on strong in the last half minute of the round, hoping that that's what the judges remember most. Two British judges among the three here, by the way, Paul Thomas and Roy Francis, along with a Puerto Rican judge, Ismael Fernandez.
Lucas has certainly made Matlala miss a lot more in this round.
Just beginning to find the range again in the closing stages of the round, but I don't know, maybe Lucas just did enough to nick that earlier on.
Yes, I think he did. He was just more elusive, kept using, his shots, picking them off.
Whenever you hit the big hand.
Shots of the fifth round. Matlala had a good finish to the round. 3 or 4 good punches right at the end of the round. Coming up to round 6 here. In one of his world title attempts at strawweight, Lucas actually got a draw against Phalan Lukming Kwan in Bangkok, and that created such a row among the locals that there was a riot, and Lucas had to be escorted out of the ring. Most people thought he'd lost it clearly. Judges didn't. Oh, right hand. Just a good one, didn't it, from Matlala?
Looked very good, putting his punches together well there. He's trying to get up for 2 and 3s. That's good from Matlala. He's putting his shots together in bunches.
It's almost as if he was thinking, well, maybe I was a bit off the boil for most of that last round. I'm going to show you who really is the governor here.
That's right. He was a little bit slow. He was a little bit out of range in the last round. And I think he feels he's got to step up that extra pace to connect with the shots. And that's what he's doing in this round.
Matlala slips back into gear. Lucas scores himself. He's on his bike here. Matlala here is really hunting him down in this 6th round. Stepping up the pressure. The little man who lives in a Soweto suburb, baby Jake Matlala. He says his secret is clean living and dedication. He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, and he says he leaves parties early.
Well, you'd have to if you don't smoke or drink, wouldn't you?
A bit like you, Glenn. The crowd breaking into song, some of them here in support of Matlala. Some of them are doing a little dance over on the far side. He's quite a cult figure in these parts.
He is, and this is a good round for him. He's been a lot more accurate. He's found his range a lot more. He's just had that extra step up towards Lucas, and that's paid dividends.
Big round for Jake Matlala. Don't forget, coming up here, we have Chris Eubank in episode 3 of his world tour here in Sun City against American Dan Schomer, who's unbeaten in 31 contests. Eubank, who has had to work hard to make the weight, but he says don't worry about it. We'll see. That comes up live right after this fight. There is Domingo Lucas, who's fought in Thailand, Korea, Japan, Mexico, Hawaii, now South Africa. He's been around, he won't mind fighting away.
He won. He's been around the world class for a long time, and it proves how good a fight he is. He's had some very close world title attempts, and a great appearance with Ricardo Lopez, which was a very good performance.
1 defeat, 1 win this year for Lucas. 7th round here. Matlala must be in a convincing lead. What can Lucas do about this, Glenn?
Well, he's trying to make Matlala miss, and he's doing that at times quite well. But he's got to try and get his own shots. So I think at times he's even got to try and throw more shots and try and push Matlala back. And Matlala's a fighter who likes being on the front foot.
Trying to tee off with the right hand. Lucas kind of measuring Matlala with the left for range and lining up the right. But while he's thinking about doing that, Baby Jake has other ideas. Oh, the left hook just hurt him a wee bit there. Just lost his balance momentarily, but took the punch well, Lucas.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of class there from Matlala as he doubled up that left hook. It's a very good punch of his.
He switched tactics again, Lucas, now. He wants to stand and trade with Matlala.
Well, I think it's worth a try. I think he's got to maybe try and push Matlala back a little bit. At the minute, he's a little bit too stationary. And again, Matlala goes into the attack.
Always has this advantage as well, doesn't he, Matlala? Although he's a small man, of punching upwards.
That's right, he keeps his head down, and he's always a moving target. For such a small man, it's very hard to get your shots on. And if you do, you're in danger of hitting the top of his head, then you're in danger of hurting your hands.
They'd love to put him on in his native Soweto, the camps say. Maybe even at light flyweight against big stars like Carbajal or Humberto Gonzalez. So that may take some arranging. Ooh, again, Matlala getting through. Lucas just a little bit marked around the side of the left eye. Just a hint of a bruise by the look of it. Hard to see from this range, but he's taken a lot now. And he's got a more distressed look on his face. Matlala trying to break him down, break him up, and score yet another stoppage in defense of his crown.
Matlala's switching it up now. He's working to body and head, putting his punches together in clusters.
4 or 5 punches there.
He is. He's getting the best of almost every exchange now.
More of the excellent work from baby Jake Matlala, and they're giving him the rub down in the corner. Domingo Pretty Boy Lucas, he needs it.
He certainly does, and as you said, there was a bit of a swelling coming up above the left eye. He's taking a lot of shots now. Matlala's beginning to get in full flow.
8th round. Matlala, the 4 feet 10 inches tall WBO flyweight champion, looking good for another successful defense. Well, Lucas has tried jab and move tactics. Now he's prepared to stand there and trade punches with Matlala, but nothing he tries so far has really worked for him. I don't think either his punches, because he's a straw weight and then like flyweight coming up, I don't think his punches are really troubling Matlala that much.
No, I don't think they are. He's trying to stand with Matlala. Matlala's just walking through them.
2, 3, 4, 5 jabs. And then a straight right. He sets himself well for the punches, doesn't he, too, Matlala?
He does. He's got very good balance, and he gets, you know, quite a bit behind him. He keeps working all the time. It's obviously taking an awful lot out of Lucas because he's having to move. He's having to try and defend himself, throw shots. And Matlala looks so cool.
It's another impressive performance from baby Jake. His promoter Mike Siegel is going to be very pleased with this. He's, of course, top rated for marketability in South Africa, and he's spreading the word around the name around the world a bit as well.
But Lucas is still trying very hard. He's game enough, isn't he, Ian?
Very courageous, but he did take a pretty systematic beating in that fight we've been telling you about with Ricardo Lopez, and this is becoming something of a similar story. He's still throwing leather back, but there's no doubt about it, Matlala is getting seriously the better of the argument.
Yes, but Lucas is teeing up. He's really trying to put a lot of power behind that right hand. Well, you feel he's maybe going for broke. He's maybe trying to dig up his best shot.
He's looking tired. His mouth's gaping open a bit. Lucas now, he takes another sharp-looking left. Matlala has won exactly half of his victories inside schedule. A lot of his defeats have been on away days, fighting in South African title fights. And they were early in his career as well. It's a bit of a different proposition now. Now, one man who's fought Matlala and actually beat him in his first ever world title fight, Matlala's that is, was Dave McCauley, who's in the studio. Now, he looks a bit fearsome, Matlala, here, doesn't he, Dave?
Ian, he's definitely he's a very much improved fighter. He's like a 112-pound steamroller. As wee arms are like pistons, and they're never out of this guy Lucas's face. He's so he very rarely throws a one punch. He's throwing 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 punch combinations, and these are wearing this guy down. And he's doing the exact thing. His corner are telling me exactly what to do, and he's carrying it all out to the letter. He's a real tough wee guy. He doesn't know how to go back. And if your guy Lucas could push him back, that would be the best thing to do. But he's just not capable of doing it, because this wee guy Matlala, he's so strong and so compact. his strength is unbelievable. As I said, he's a 112-pound steamroller.
I like that, 112-pound steamroller. Sounds like Dave McCauley's glad he's not having to fight him now. 9th round. Of the 8 that have gone so far, I've given Matlala 7. The judges might have given him all 8. I don't know. Again, the combination shots. He's showing tremendous resilience, courage, and durability, Lucas, here, because he's taken a lot.
He has. He's very, very tough, but Matlala's getting through an awful lot of shots now. You don't know how much of this he can keep taking. That right hand, he throws that with a little bit of venom, Lucas. He still looks good with that.
Slip by Matlala, says the referee Gennaro Rodriguez from Chicago. He, by the way, was the referee for the Eubank Rocky Gianni fight in Berlin. Oh, the right hand was a cracker. Didn't travel far from Matlala, and you saw the legs then stiffen of the Filipino boxer. That might have had a lot of fighters down. There's no doubt about it. Matlala wants another stoppage win on his record. He might take a bit of stopping, this guy.
Yes, he seems tough, and he's just trying to pour Matlala off, but that's not enough. And Matlala's walking through that.
It's been a pretty dazzling display, this from the South African, for the most part. Still, with that right hand, Lucas looking to tee off. He just telegraphed the punch a little, doesn't he?
He does. You can tell that he's really going for it. But he just had a little bit of success with one a moment ago.
But he's a man with a real fighting heart, this Domingo Lucas. He's been outgunned all the way by Matlala. He's taken a lot of punches like that. He's still taking it. How much more can he take, you wonder?
Yes, he's very tough, and he tries to fight back after every exchange.
Again, the left hook from the champion. He's picking Lucas apart a little bit here. And Lucas just gave him a little nod of appreciation then, as if to say, yeah, you're quite a handful. A mutual respect that grows between professional fighters.
But there's you always, even when the fight's really hard, you respect the other man's talents.
Lucas glad to hear the bell to end round 9. He did well to get through that. Very well. It was really punishment from start of the round to the end.
Here's some of the action. A very good round from Matlala. He just kept throwing shots, and there we see some of them. A 5-punch combination. All short, all very sharp, and all very accurate.
And watch that uppercut.
Now I wonder, there's Eubank, what's going through his mind there? Just getting himself through his final preparations. Up against an unbeaten fighter tonight, Chris Eubank. Not many people give Shoma very much of a chance, but he says Shoma, if he thinks he's fighting a has-been, he's got another thing coming. We'll see. 10th round. This may be the WBO version of the title, and WBO versions sometimes become derided in boxing circles, but Matlala has got to be a contender, hasn't he, for the best flyweight around at the moment.
He certainly is, and this is a great performance. He's building up the good work in the last round, and he's really putting the pressure on now. The chants are going up from the crowd. They're breaking into dancing in the far corner, Ian. They enjoy their champion.
Well, if Matlala does come through with the victory that looks his for the taking at this stage. There'll be no wild celebrations or parties from him. He'll go back to his family and his 3-year-old son, Sheppo, and just get on with the job of being a celebrity and world champion. Plenty of money for him to make as well. I'm told he's also a qualified auditor. Now, it's becoming pretty amazing that Lucas can take all this.
It really is. He's still managing to stand up to it quite well. And he's taken a tremendous amount of punches, and he's still fighting back. He's showing great heart.
And the bad news for him is that there's 2.5 rounds of this still to go. He's swollen around the face a little now. He still wants to throw out leather. There's no end to the man's courage. Lucas is simply bearing his soul in pursuit of this world championship, but it looks a totally lost cause, frankly.
And Matlala's got time to smile in amongst all of that.
But being the great little fighting man he is, Matlala, I'm sure he at the end of this will be the first to say that Lucas has been so courageous.
Well, he's took some tremendous shots in this fight, some tremendous combinations, and yet he's never looked in serious trouble. A very, very tough man.
Blood coming now from the nose of Lucas. Again, cutting punches, combinations. Matlala has looked quite superb in this fight. Really has improved a bundle, hasn't he, since we first saw him in Britain fighting Dave McCauley.
He has. He's much, much more polished.
Lucas gets through another 3 minutes somehow. Now then, don't forget, coming up live in just a few minutes' time now, Chris Eubank against Dan Schomer for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship. Eubank looking to extend an unbeaten record that now extends to 41 contests. Will he be flirting with controversy again tonight? What does he have in store? Stay tuned, as they say. All sorts of dignitaries and celebrities at ringside. South African sports minister among those attending tonight. Round 11. I don't think I'm going too much out on a limb here, am I, when saying that Lucas needs a knockout?
I don't think so. I think you'd be fair to say that, Ian. Matlala he's looked very, very special in this fight. He's done everything very well, looks very polished. Good combinations all the time. Very accurate.
Even as an amateur, Matlala was a pretty useful performer. He claims a record of 198 wins and 1 defeat.
That is a pretty good record.
Not bad, is it? Yeah, not bad. Lucas is still hoping that that right hand will pay him a jackpot somehow. Well, he's doing better in this round, Lucas. But that, I think, is because Matlala is simply just switched off the turbo for a little while.
Yes, I was just going to say momentarily, it never gets switched off for long with Matlala.
Superb combination from him again. Great credit to his trainer of the last 10 years, Solly Latshwayo. He's got his man in terrific shape. They were a bit worried earlier in the week that he might have just be going over the top and that he might have peaked in the gym. No sign of it here at all.
But Lucas still looking for that big payoff shot, that right hand.
Just about everything he's thrown, he's landed with, hasn't he, Matlala?
He has. Very, very polished as well. You know, when he's let shots go normally in combinations, you know, we might say Lucas throw one shot, and in the same space of time, Matlala will have landed with 2 or 3.
I'd say Matlala's had one indifferent round here, the 5th. The rest of it has been total domination. I'm sure he's going to feature in some more big Sun City fight nights down the road. Wasn't a bad body punch from Lucas, though, the left. First time we've seen that variety from him. He could do with a wee bit more variety. He's been a bit right hand happy.
But hasn't he shown great courage? I mean, he's constantly been out-punched, and yet he's still in there.
Well, you take your hat off to him, do you? Lucas, his 4th world title shot. None of the others have ended in success, and it does look like this one is doomed to fail. Of course, the Philippines had 1 or 2 good flyweights down the years. Remember Rolando Bolhol, who fought Duke McKenzie and Dave McCauley. There's Dan Schomer just working out in the dressing room. There's more of the brilliance of Matlala. Three minutes remaining in this contest, and I'd have to say that Lucas deserves to hear the final bell after all he's been through.
He certainly does. He's very, very tough, and I'm sure he will. He's a very game fighter.
He's a fighter who's only lost 5 of his 41 previous contests to this, Lucas, and 2 of those were World Championship fights. But he's going for it. Lucas, he knows he needs something big, and he's going to try to produce it, no matter how mountainous the odds. Oh, it was a thunderous right from Matlala, and Lucas just took it and carried on. How has he got through this?
That's right, Matlala still looking very fresh. And look at them combinations coming in the last round.
He's going to ache in parts of his body he didn't know he had, I think, tomorrow, Lucas.
Matlala even looks as if he can still step up a gear. He's, you know, just at this round, he's just picked himself up a little bit more.
Well, look at this. A bit of showboating and an attempted Ali shuffle from Lucas. What do you know about this in the last round? After all of this, that's Matlala's answer. Astonishing bravado from this Filipino.
It certainly is. He's demanding his own respect for being in there with such a great champion.
He really does look as if he's carved out of limestone, doesn't he? Final moments of this. Even the referee has a half smirk on his face, in admiration, I think, of Lucas's durability. Matlala goes in for a bit of the old show business himself. Anything you can do, I can do better, he says. Well, it's all good fun, I suppose. Lucas can't seriously believe that he is in any way in this fight. It's been a virtuoso performance from Matlala.
But the crowd are absolutely loving this. What a tremendous performance.
Brilliant stuff from the South African in front of his home fans. Matlala surely has retained his championship. A big smile on his face. Lucas, I'm sure, despite his bravado of the last round, his waves to the crowd, knows the inevitability of the result which will shortly be delivered to us. Any second. Brian Mulder.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have scored the fight as follows. Judge Paul Thomas scores the fight 118, 110. Judge Wisa Fernandez scores the fight 118, 110. Judge Roy Francis scores the fight 119, 110. And still, the WBO flyweight champion of the world, baby Jake Matlala!
It's a triumph for Soweto and South Africa. A performance of amazing courage from the challenger Domingo Pretty Boy.